Hey guys, welcome to Zimaleta how-to show. As you can tell, I got a Sprinter that's working in the back of me right now. The reason it's working, I want to actually take it for a test drive, but before I want to take it for a test drive, I want to kind of give you like a little update. I've been making a series that, like various different series, kind of like what I'm doing with the van that you have seen. But the one I want to address is one of the problems that I started having maybe about like 6 months ago, okay? And it used to come on every so often, and now it comes on a little bit more regularly, and I have done some things to fix it. Let me tell you what I've done, let me tell you what I think, so stay tuned for that. I think that's gonna help you. In one of my earlier videos, for some of you guys that's been following me for a while now, I've made a video that my Sprinter shut off at night. It was a kind of like a horrible video at night, but the only thing that was important about it is the information. It's the fact that I was driving, the Sprinter shut off. Why did it shut off? I ran some codes. I got a injector circuit code for fuel injector number 3, fuel injector number 4, stuff like that, okay? There was also some information with the cluster was incorrect, and it's basically like 4 codes in one, okay? Long story short, not important right now. So, I had several problems going on in one. One of them I have already solved. The one that the instrument cluster was communicating with the computer was like faulty information. That one I have fixed. What that one was is, it's kind of raining here, guys. I'm not sure if you could tell. That one I have fixed. What I have done is, in one of my videos that you guys have seen, I have replaced the computer. I replaced the immobilizer. I have replaced basically the computer, the immobilizer, the ignition switch I replaced. I replaced the central locking system, basically the keyless entry computer. A little update with that. That works now. I could actually turn my van off and, well, lock it and unlock it using my remote. So that works. It came on a little bit later. I want to actually touch on every little thing that happened, kind of like as a little update to what happened in that video. I really don't want to space this out because this information is kind of congested in one because of all these things that was done and what is the final result, okay? So basically, after I replaced the computer and everything else, okay, one problem that did disappear, if you guys been following with me, before, if I would turn my van off, I would go in the house and stuff, I would come back, and I look at my instrument cluster, it was on, where the drive is, where you shift and stuff like that, the time, and of course the mileage, that was always coming on and off. I've showed you guys that in one of the video. Well, that went away now because that had to do with the ignition switch problem with the actual tumbler. So I have used all the computer and all that stuff from a different van. So basically I just swapped all the computers out, all the electronics from that one, except the stuff on the engine, and it works, as you could tell, okay? Now I want to tell you something. What happened after I replaced everything? Obviously turned on, I started driving, I did a little test drive. I think I made a little video saying, well, it's not doing this and the other thing. I'm not sure what I said, but here's actually what was going on. The van started driving as if somebody had tuned the computer, so nobody really dogs the crap out of the van, where you cannot really accelerate really fast. It will accelerate, it will go only to 70 miles an hour. That was the top limit. And I've tested that on the highway, of course. I'm not gonna do it on the local streets, where I'm allowed to go like 65. It barely went to 70, and that's only on the actual speedometer. It went 70. According to GPS, it was only 65. So I just want to get that out of the way. So I kind of thought, maybe that computer in that van was programmed to run like that. Who knows? Maybe somebody programmed that so, like, for relays, or even though there's no need for relays really, but that's what I thought. There was no codes, nothing to really throw things off. Where I would say, there's a code that's misperforming, and I'm thinking, okay, it is not in limp mode. It's just accelerating a little bit slower than I like to, because this van before I was like accelerating like a rocket for a van, because I take care of it. I do like various different things to really maintain it to the tip-top performance of the van. But when I put the computer in, I didn't recognize my van. Yes, it accelerated. Yes, the RPM gauge, if you're idling and you try to rev the RPMs, it goes to 4,000 max. It would not go above 4,000, but at least it went to 4,000, which is telling me kind of like, well, it's not in limp mode, because it would only go up to 3,000 RPMs, not any more than that, and it would only accelerate a little bit below 60 miles an hour, usually. At least limp modes I've seen, okay? So, long story short, I have drove it like this for about a week, a little bit less than a week, okay? And then guess what, guys? I have drove it like maybe, I don't know, let's say about 200 miles maybe, because I was driving locally. I always drive kind of like long distances locally, going back and forth. And man, I got my van back, basically. It started driving so lovely. It started accelerating so good. I'm thinking, wow, what happened there? You know, this is new to me. You know, I know, like, I'm kind of like, I'm mechanically inclined, as you guys can tell. I know a lot of stuff. I don't consider myself a mechanic, but I'm a self-taught with this kind of stuff. Of course, I come out of the history of mechanics in my family. We have just about everybody that knows how to work on cars and understands them. So I guess I got that little trait in me, okay? Well, basically, yeah, it started driving good, so I'm thinking, wow, good now. You know, everything's good. So my question was, okay, did the problem went away, you know, when my van was shutting down? And everything was telling me that it did, because it was performing the correct way, except for one little thing. I can feel the way the van is operating in very little subtle, you cannot almost tell, differences I can tell, okay? So when I was driving, I could feel just this little slight millisecond type of little hesitation, jerk. It's just so sudden, you cannot even tell. No check engine light, of course, will come on, and your van is driving normally. So I'm thinking, well, I had that before, so is the problem still there? Is this part of a different problem, or what? So my whole thing is to try to basically fix the issue with it shutting off while driving, okay? So I actually will hop under this hood too, like to kind of like show you some of the diagnostics and things, what I think, okay? So, guys, just several days ago, the problem started coming back. I started noticing kind of like it maybe shut off, but it came back on kind of quickly, that the engine didn't have enough time to really recognize the problem. And then it happened. I was driving very, very slow speeds, maybe 20 and stuff, and this only happens now on pretty much acceleration and driving at slower speeds. It shut off on me, so I started rolling at 20 miles an hour. Of course, I twisted the key back and forth. It cut back on, so I was able to make it to the parking lot. Started shutting off again. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm disappointed that the problem did not go away, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad, because I can now find the actual solution to the problem, you know, and maybe, you know, help you guys out, because these vans, as you can tell, they're very costly to repair. Not a lot of people knows what the heck is going on with them, especially when it comes to electronics. And this is kind of like what's happening is kind of like electrical. So my solution to this problem with it shutting off, because it says fuel injector number 4, and it says like low voltage or something detected or whatever. I'll post the code in here. I'm pretty bad at remembering these codes. I hardly use computers to really do like my maintenance for me or my thinking for me, because I try to think, how is these things working, how are they related, to try to best diagnose the problem and figure it out, because a lot of times it's going to deceive you, and I'm thinking it's deceiving me in this case. But I'm thinking, okay, low voltage, possibly the connection is not that great, you know, with the fuel injector, and somehow it's sending low voltage. So I'm thinking, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I have bought some grease, and I'll show you a picture of that grease as well. It's a special electric contact type of grease. It comes in a very small tube. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna grease all the connections. Hopefully that's going to improve the communication with the computer better or whatever, you know. So before I get to it further, yes, I did grease all the connections now. I still don't think that's the problem, though. I'm not convinced. It feels like it's an electrical problem the way it tells on the computer, but I'm not convinced that it's electrical. I really think this might have something to do with fuel filter, possibly. This is a really rare case, and this happened to me before. Like a while back, I would have, with a different engine, of course. This is a brand new engine here. Well, brand new from the dealer, as it was. Now, I'm not sure how many miles it is right now, maybe 200,000. But I haven't messed with this engine at all until recently. So I haven't done anything like with electrical. I haven't messed with the injectors or none of that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of thinking, if it's electrical, like you guys might be thinking, well, it's electrical. Maybe the electrical circuit is failing in the injector, and that may be, but you can disconnect the fuel injector, and I haven't done it yet, not on this vehicle yet, but I have done it before. If you disconnect the fuel injector, and it happens to number 4. It was number 3 a long time ago. I haven't seen number 3 code in months. Okay, so number 4 is a very consistent code that I'm getting. So possible electronics are better than number 4. But if you disconnect the fuel injector number 4, possibly it's just going to work in 4 cylinders. Let's test this little theory real quick. Oh yeah, by the way, I do want to show there is no codes on it right now. So let's head to the engine bay. Alright, I have already done the honors. I have removed the cover. The fuel injectors connectors, they're not that easy to remove, but hopefully since I just removed them, it's going to work. Let's do the number 4 really quick. Okay, it's having a problem for me to remove it. Let me remove it bear with me guys with the sound, but this is important. You can hear the sound. At least you can tell how well it's working, okay? Okay, I may have to put the camera, let's see. It's so hard to do it with one hand. I normally don't do it like this. Okay, look at this, guys. Electric disconnected from injector number 4. It's misfiring in cylinder number 4, okay? That's what happens. Okay, I put it back now, and it sounds fine. So now let's do the diagnostic codes, guys. And I just got a really simple code reader here. But at least it's easy to do it. Okay, injector circuit, open cylinder number 4. So that's the code it gave me. Hold on a second, let's see here. Read code again. So that's P0204. So we're gonna erase it. Okay. Now the code is gone. It's not coming back right now. So as you could tell, guys, if you disconnect the electrical on the fuel injector, it's just going to basically work in 4 cylinders instead of 5. And we actually disconnected the number 4. So we only had 1 through 3 working and number 5 working. So this is kind of leading to my theory. Why would it disconnect if there's any kind of voltage problem in the injector? Beats me, because you could disconnect the injector and it runs in 4 cylinders. So you could technically get home. It's going to misfire. It's not going to be driving good. Maybe in limp mode, you know, who knows. But I never drove with 4 cylinders. But technically still, it did not shut off. That's the important thing to note here, okay? So I'm kind of thinking this might be with the fuel filter being dirty. Even though I recently replaced this fuel filter, I don't know how many miles. I'm pretty bad at writing these things down. I could guess at least 30,000 miles ago. About 30 to 40,000 it is recommended to change this fuel filter, so it's not illogical not to replace it. You know, I usually though run them to like 80,000, 100,000 until I start noticing some sluggishes. And what I've been noticing before, guys, a very long time ago, when a fuel injector is kind of dirty, yes, it will shut off, and it usually does that somewhere like in the mountains and stuff. You know, it will shut off, and then, you know, because I think it needs to give more fuel, and it's less fuel, and it's starving the fuel injectors, and it shuts them off. So that's a very logical reason for me for the fuel injector to shut off. Why is it given number 4 injector code? Beats me. Obviously, you could tell the electric's working fine on it because the injector is in working order. This is why it's working perfectly now on 5 cylinders right now. maybe in one of the videos later on, if we have more problems coming out of this, I'll disconnect 2 injectors, maybe like number 4 and number 3. Let's see if it works on 1, 2, and 5. Or 1, 2, 3, and we'll disconnect 4 and 5, you know. So that's for future testing, not right now. So here's what I've done, guys, just in case it's not gonna hurt anything. I think that's actually going to be a good thing. I have greased all the connections, as I told you. In a way, it's going to be good. It should protect it for like moisture and water and stuff like that, and give a little bit better type of signal, you know, through the wiring and stuff. So what else, guys? Back to the fuel filter. When my van shuts off, I do hear these clicking. It is a very dry clicking. It sounds like my fuel injectors are being starved. And they're being starved just enough maybe to shut it off. The only thing it's kind of concerning to me, I think I should get a low fuel rail pressure code. At least, I think, you know. Possibly, because, you know, it's low fuel rail pressure, it's not gonna run, but maybe not, you know. So right now what I want to do is I grease the connections. The fuel filter, the original one, is still in there. I want to drive it. I'm gonna drive it around. I'm gonna make a video, next video, telling you how my drive went. Did the problem go away, and what did I do to replace it? So what I do want to let you know, guys, in the next video I will be replacing a fuel filter, okay? It's not going to be brand new fuel filter, but it's not going to be an old one. I'm just gonna pull it off right out of my vans. You know, there's no reason to throw on a brand new filter. You know, it kind of is, but I already have one that's not old. I can just put it on here and we'll see what happens. One thing to note, it started cutting off pretty badly at a fuel station. I never actually shut my van off when I'm fueling. This is diesel. I think it is safe. Maybe some of you tell me it's not or whatever, but I never shut it off. I'm kind of superstitious. Every time I think, what if I shut it off and it's not going to start back up again? Maybe starter has died, maybe battery is dead, and I don't know yet. It's just kind of like live and learn, you know. It's kind of like my little superstition, even though I am not superstitious, you know. So basically I'm going to go drive it and, you know, let you know. Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I know it's a little long one, but hey, if you're working on a Sprinter, this is actually pretty short little thing to notice, because you just never know, okay? This might actually help you, who knows. So see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for following me. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, and please like and subscribe. It will definitely help me. I noticed my channel's been growing, but it's not growing as fast as I'd like to. I would like to get this information to as many viewers as possible. And my primary focus of my channel is to do like mechanical and Sprinter help, and basically like any kind of like how-to stuff. Mostly it's going to be car related and building stuff, and some kind of car projects. That is my main interest. Now I am interested in electronics, just a lot of you guys are, and I am interested in making like little short movies and filmmaking, because I am artistic. So that artistic side of me wants to live on through making some kind of videos, and this is why I make traveling videos and stuff like that. And I'm trying to really get better at it. I just really don't see that I have gotten to that point. Some of you guys have told me some of my videos are good. I got lucky, I guess, on some of them, but I've really tried. I want to really be able to tell a story through a video. If I could do that with a normal vlog, think about what I could do that, you know, with my how-to stuff, you know. I could really improve the quality of my vlogs, and, you know, like this helpful type of information, because right now, this is why I'm a little bit like, kind of like struggling, and, you know, this is another thing, because I never prepare myself what I'm gonna say, okay? If I would prepare myself, maybe I could touch on points quickly, get everything out of the way and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is one of the things I really kind of dislike a little bit, because if I watch somebody that's really precise, I have to watch it again and again and again just to really get the point. I mean, you know, for stuff that I haven't understood, because some of the stuff needs to be really broke down, especially this electronic stuff. How does that work and this kind of thing? I really hope I have touched on all the points to really try to address these little different issues and stuff. But I hope this problem went away and I could just say, hey guys, it was just a poor communication with wiring or something. But I am leaning towards fuel filter being kind of bad. So hopefully it's that, because I really don't want to have to replace a fuel injector. I have one that's a brand new one. It's not brand new, but I bought it brand new. I didn't use it for very long. But oh yeah, one thing I gotta mention, okay guys, this van, of course, and this is not the thing I want to mention, is over 1,000,000 miles. It's like 1,130,000 miles right now on the actual body. Okay, now the engine went off last time at 844,000. One thing to really note here, I have never had a fuel injector failure. Okay, never in all my time of driving, in 10 years of driving. Never electronic part went out, never the other part went out. I used to, like, my injectors, they always worked. I didn't do nothing special with them, they always worked. And this is why it's mind-boggling to me. Brand new engine from Mercedes runs smoothly, perfectly, guys. You would really love to drive this van, you know, like, I know it's kind of like ugly right now, but I will paint it. Right now I'm just trying to get rid of all the rust, and I'm painting it kind of like really cheap paint to try to basically fix it up really nice. You know, I'm still trying to debate paint it black or silver. Original color is silver on this van, but I really like black. It's not going to be flat black anymore. But oh my goodness, look at this, guys. That's what happens when you work with no gloves. I was working with gloves before, so I didn't have my hands dirty. But oh yeah, this is the thing I want to mention. Yeah, like with the fuel injectors, they never went out, guys. I don't know why it should go out now, especially when I really baby this engine. I really take care of it. I just really don't see why. Okay, and if some of you guys are wondering, I don't use additives. Okay, but I had to change my mind on this one. With the fuel injectors the way they are, yes, I put a fuel injector clean. I put like I put actually a couple in there. You know, one of them is it's kind of like the honey that they sell at truck stops. It helps with the winterization of diesel, so it doesn't freeze up and stuff like that, and it kind of helps to give fuel economy. I think it cleans the injector somewhat, but I also put seafoam in here. There is a direct way of cleaning fuel injectors, and this is something I will address in a future video. I'll show you how to directly clean fuel injector without pouring it in a tank. I think it's a lot more effective way to clean it. You'll get a lot more out of it and better performance and whatnot. I'll show you in one of the videos. But I put fuel injector cleaning because when I do experience a problem, I try to look for a solution. I don't try to pour stuff, cleaners in there while it's working, because what's the point? I got really great fuel economy between 25 and 26 miles per gallon, sometimes 26 and a half and 27. Now, one thing I do remember now, this is another thing to know, when it starts shutting off at me, I was up north at a fuel station, and after that, at least I got 100 miles less out of my drive. It was really poor fuel economy at that point. So, I don't know, bad fuel at that gas station. Maybe there's water there because the weather has been kind of like raining and snowing and stuff like that. So possibly I got some water maybe in my fuel filter. This is why it's shut off. Oh yeah, and another thing, I mean, I always think of something. This is why it's bad that I don't prepare and good at the same time, because I could talk about anything. I believe, guys, it's really important at some point to clean your fuel tank. I think I'm gonna try to do that next time. I'm gonna be really making videos. Well, of course, that next time is actually time now, because I'm filming this video in December before Christmas. I'm putting this out in sometime in January after the 9th. Probably watching this probably around the 15th or whatever, or before then, because I have already uploaded a lot of videos, and I'm trying to shoot season 2 and make sure we're gonna stay on point with just Sprinter stuff coming in from January 9, maybe all the way through February. You know, there's gonna be some vlogs here and there if I'm gonna be driving or doing stuff with family, but I'm going to focus more on fixing stuff with Sprinters and that kind of thing, guys. Man, yeah, fuel tanks, I believe they need to be cleaned. I think maybe that's what's clogging up my fuel filter. It has never been removed and cleaned on this van, and I think that's really important to do. So I will do that at some point and show you guys how to do it, okay? So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really sorry for these long videos, but I think they're good, okay? So, you know, tell me if they're not, you know, or give me some advice. I'm definitely open to ideas. Thank you guys so much. Take care. God bless you. Bye-bye.